All right, here we go. So here's the second movie. So this one had a budget of 75 million, and the box office was over 600 million, 618 to be exact. So again, another amazing budget to box office ratio for a movie that came out in the 90s. This movie came out in 97. So this one, here we go. So we had some of the same cast members. You had Ariana Richards, Jeff Goldblum. You had some incoming cast members like Julianne Moore, Pete Postlewaithe, Arliss Howard, or Arliss Howard. I want to say Arliss Howard. Let me see. Who else was the cast up in this? Richard Attenborough, he's a returning cast member. He reprised the role as Dr. John Hammond. You had Vince Vaughn as Nick Van Owen, Vanessa Lee Chester as Kelly Curtis, Peter Stormare as Dieter. Is it Dieter? I forgot how they said the name. Dieter Stark. Thomas F. Duffy as Dr. Robert Burke. And Joseph Mazzello reprised his role as Tim Murphy. You had Camilla Bell as Kathy Bowman, and you had quite a few other members here. So, a sequel to the first movie, obviously. This one is loosely based on the 1995 novel of the same name. Let's see, 4 years after. Where was it? I just saw it. Wait a minute. Where was it at? Oh, here we go. Following the book's publication in 1995, production began on a film sequel. Filming took place from September to December of '96, primarily in California, with a shoot in Hawaii, where the first film was shot. The second movie's plot and imagery is substantially darker than the original film. It makes more extensive use of CGI to depict dinosaurs along with life-size animatronics. So I will say that was something I noticed because, to tell you the truth, I could have sworn, but I could be wrong, that I thought I had seen the second movie when I was younger and I couldn't remember it. And I was looking at this movie saying, yeah, I don't remember any of this. So I either watched it one time and forgot about it, or maybe I just didn't see it. The ratings on this movie are relatively lower compared to the first movie. The first movie, I think, was a 91% approval rating from Rotten Tomatoes and a 68 from Metacritic. This one right here has 56 from Rotten Tomatoes and 59 from Metacritic. Internet Movie Database gave this movie a 66%, and Google users gave it an 84%. So this is the sequel in which the entrepreneur who genetically engineered the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park transpires to have cloned more of the prehistoric monsters on another island location. Researchers arrive to observe the creatures in their natural habitat, but hot on their heels is a band of mercenaries intent on capturing the dinosaurs and transporting them back to the San Diego Zoo. Wow. So, I gotta say, I was looking at this, and I gotta admit, there were certain parts of this movie that looked a little bit cheesy, just barely cheesy. We're not talking about the first couple Evil Dead movies or Mortal Kombat Annihilation cheesy. No, it wasn't that bad. But just cheesy enough to where it's like you notice it a little bit, but it's like it's not really a big deal. It was kind of like cheesy and horrific at the same time, where you had the scene where the T-Rex was basically stomping his way through the city, crushing gas stations, running on the street, crushing cars, and cars who saw it and they immediately turned around. I mean, that whole thing was a little bit funny, but also a little bit, like I said, it was horrifying. But this one is also available. I think I mentioned in my last video, this one is available to watch on Peacock along with all the other movies. All the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies are available to watch on Peacock. Why is it that this isn't coming up? Hold on one second. There we go. Now I can get to, well, I can't even see the dang reviews on it. Well, let me see what somebody from Reddit says. So somebody from Reddit had posted this and they said, there was somebody who said that this was an absolute terrible movie. Not showing it now. Now I done lost it. But, okay, now here we go. I want to get to some of the Google reviews. Number one. Okay, so we have funny. Somebody gave it 5 stars and said, good sequel to the first film. Pretty good cast that you don't see again. This is one of my favorite movies in the series in top 3 or 4. Number 1, as far as a 1 star. Okay, now let me go to all the suspense. Good designs. If you want to see a suspenseful sci-fi action dinosaur story that isn't the original film, this is the movie for you. And let me see what I'm curious to know what some of the 1 stars said. Okay, so this person right here gave it a 1 star, saying, this movie, unlike the first, relies almost extensively on the dinosaurs chasing people with very little other conflict. The first movie, and especially the novel, rely on a strong premise/theme, which is an insightful one. Dr. Malcolm, a powerful monologue. Jeff Goldblum's character, Ian, admonishes the park's owner, John Hammond. Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they couldn't stop to think if they should. Let me go further. Let me go a little bit further down. How stupid and criminal-minded they can be. They released the animals from cages, resulting in destruction of the whole camp and multiple deaths. They brought the infant T-Rex for treatment in the parent T-Rexes instead of being thankful. Not only destroyed their campers, but also killed Eddie brutally. Wasn't she aware of their T-Rex's brutal nature, unforgiving attitude, and ability to sniff over far distances? She was an idiot. She was idiot enough to not move. They're talking about the Sarah and Nick. She was idiot enough to move around with a jacket soaked in baby T-Rex's blood, allowing the adult T-Rex to chase them over and kill tens of people during the night, not only directly but also resulting in bloodbath across the field by raptors. Nick was a criminal by taking bullets out of Roland's rifle, intentionally putting his life in danger. Yeah, some of that stuff was a bit like, yeah, that could have been better. Overall, I would have to give this film, about a 6.5 at best, because I don't think it was completely terrible, and I don't think it was trash. But is it anywhere near the first movie? No. And you know me, I'm one of these people that always says, listen, when you look at a franchise, regardless of the genre, I'm not one of these people that just joins in automatically with the crowd and says, well, the first one is always the best one because it's the first. The original is always top everything else. Well, for some franchises, yes, but others, no. For this one in particular, I will say the first one, so far, is the best one. The first one gets a 10. This one gets a 6.5. That's my stance on it. And there's not really much else to say about it. I will say this movie didn't quite keep my attention as well as the first one did, but I've seen enough of it to kind of get the gist. So overall, I'd say it's decent. I know all the real hardcore Jurassic Park / World fans already saw it. If you are somebody who's curious and interested in dinosaur movies, I'd say this is a good start. And to tell you the truth, I really think that, to my knowledge, Jurassic Park, that franchise is really the only dinosaur series I know of, as far as like with, real actors and everything. But that's my take on that. So I don't know. You tell me what you think of the movie. I have the reviews for the other movies coming up. Stay tuned.